Yeah! Get up!
What is up, everybody? Just finishing up a day at work. Gotta make those Benjamins. I don't even know if that's a thing. But I mean, you gotta pay the bills. You gotta make money to do the things that you love. For me, that is moto vlogging. You know, we don't always get what we want, but you know, we do our best. We save our money. Sometimes we go into debt to get what we want. It's like reverse saving money. But no, someone did pose a question to me regarding money, and it's regarding money only because they're asking about how you buy your first bike, or any tips on buying your first bike on a budget. And I think that most of us, or I should say a lot of us, and maybe I only say this because, you know, I'm one of those guys who lives in California. We don't struggle by any means, and we've never really struggled. But money, you know, money's tight when you live in California. Things are expensive, and a lot of us who enjoy riding do it at a cost, because the cost of living is so high here. And friggin' houses, I mean, there's a reason why we still live in an apartment. And it's not just because my wife stayed home with our kids until, you know, one of them was old enough to watch the other one after school. Find ourselves in. So what do you do? What do you do when you're on a budget, but you got the bug, you've taken your course, you've got your license, and now you're ready to go buy a bike? So I think my first line of business for any of you who are hoping or wanting to buy a motorcycle and you're on a budget is absolutely do not
don't ever, for any reason, do anything to anyone.
My first line of business here, for those of you who are on a budget and wanting to buy your first motorcycle, is you've got to understand that if there's a deal out there that seems too good to be true, it absolutely is. Somebody's looking to steal your money, possibly your identity, I don't know, but for sure they're trying to steal your money. And I'll just say this, because I've actually, because you know, I've been on a budget looking for motorcycles more than once, and I've reached out to those people a couple times, and every single time what they will do is say they will deliver the bike to you, get them the money, wire them the money, send them a check, whatever it might be. You know, use this form of payment and you'll get your bike, and we'll deliver it right to your door. It's waiting in a warehouse, it's in storage, I'm in the military, all of these things. You know, I'm a widow. They use a variety of tactics. All of them sound legitimate. All of them made, actually, I think, to make you feel some sort of pity or to feel some sort of sympathy towards their situation. You will also feel like, wow, not only am I getting a great deal here, I'm doing somebody a favor. Now, all of that is bogus. Absolutely do not fall for that. If it's too good to be true, it absolutely is. So that is my very first, and that's my big warning. I probably went off on that tangent a little bit too hard, but I don't want any of you to fall into that trap. So it's got to be real. If you're looking at something that's under $3,000, under $2,000, you're probably looking at something that's an older model, or you're looking at something that's a starter bike that's maybe a few years old, or a starter bike that someone's put quite a few miles on. You're probably not looking at a new bike if you're on a budget and you're looking to getting into riding because you just got your license and just itching to get your own motorcycle. Is look out for those big sites, which are Craigslist, Cycle Trader. Those are the two big ones for me, and there are some gems out there. There really are some good deals out there on older motorcycles. And I'm gonna stop for this kid. Somebody please don't kill me. Thank you. There are older older model motorcycles and beginner motorcycles out there for some pretty good deals. So this, I will say, when you are even starting to think about getting a motorcycle, start looking now, because it's all about timing. It's all about timing. You never know when that perfect bike is going to come along, and a lot of the, I'm going to say this too, that perfect bike might come along, you'll love it, you'll set something up with somebody, and someone else will snatch it up before you do. So this is what you got to do. You've got to make a list. You've got to be prepared to, on a moment's notice, leave what you're doing and go and get that motorcycle. You've got to have the money ready. All that stuff has to be ready, because someone else is bound to be in a better situation than you are and is going to go get that bike before you can get to it. So first of all, you've got to leave yourself options. So make a list of the bikes that you would buy if you could make it to that person in time. And then also be ready with that money. You got to be ready to do it, because especially if you're buying from a private seller, which a lot of the times I think you probably are if you're on Cycle Trader or on Craigslist and you're looking for a bargain. You're looking at private sellers, so cash only. So be ready. Have that list and be ready to go at the drop of a hat. So what I would say is, unless your job would allow you to just leave in the middle of the day, do your looking on a Friday when you know you can get out, or on a Saturday especially, or a weekend when you know that you can just get up and go get that bike. And one of the last things that I would say here when you're buying a bike on a budget is, don't just jump on a bike because it's a good deal or because you like the way it looks. You've got to be ready, and don't settle. I know that when you're on a budget, you kind of are settling anyway, but what you need to avoid is getting a bike that you're gonna ride for, you know, a month or 6 months and be ready to just sell it or flip it, whatever it might be. You know, you've got to get a bike that you're going to be happy with for a while, especially if you're on a budget, because you know that you're not going to get another bike for a while. You know, you might be able to save up some more money, and you might have a chance to buy another bike soon. So not only do you need to get a bike that you're going to be happy with for a while, you're going to want to find a bike that when you sell it, you're going to get something similar to what you paid for it. And that happens a lot when you buy like an older motorcycle or a beginner motorcycle, and you pay, like, I don't know, anywhere between $2,000 and $3,000. You're going to get something similar back for it, but you just have to be okay with letting that go. So find a bike that you're going to be happy with for a while. You know, don't settle. And find a bike that's a good value bike. Don't get this bike because it's a salvage title and, you know, it looks awesome and it's fast. You know, you've got to do this in order. And if you don't, I mean, sometimes you can get lucky, but when you try to cheat the formula here for successfully getting into riding and then not getting burnt, you know, so when it's time to sell that bike or to move up to a different bike, that you're not out a whole ton of money. And obviously if you're looking at buying a bike on a budget, money's a big deal. And I guess before I close this video out, I would say that be responsible. You know, don't break the bank on your bike. If your bike is going to be your mode of transportation everywhere, then yeah, you're probably going to want to look into something that's going to be reliable, that's going to get good resale value, and it's going to be something you're going to be happy with riding every day. So you got to take a lot of things into consideration. I'll put a link up here to my suggestions on purchasing your first bike and what kind of bike you want to choose, because that's another good thing to take into consideration. It's not only how much you're spending and how you're going to go about getting it, but definitely what kind of bike you should choose for your first bike. So guys, that's all I got for you today. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up down there, which is the like button, and if you're so inclined, hit the subscribe button, which I'll pop up right over here. I'll also throw up some links over here in this direction so you can go straight to one of my other videos. Guys, if you're out there riding, be safe, and if you're not riding, get riding. This is that one guy, and I am out.